Part 13. And Daniel also told them that in perilous times the street would be made straight and the wall would be built again, in time for the Messiah, the Prince, to come. And that tabernacle-type temple was nothing like the dimensions of Ezekiel. But around 40 years before Jesus was born, Herod took a consensus in Israel and got the go-ahead to tear down the tabernacle-type temple and build the actual temple. It was a massive structure, acres and acres in size. History said you could see it gleaming from miles away. It was decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. History said if you have not seen Herod's temple, you have not seen architecture. Said it was the greatest building on earth. He also fortified all the walls and made Jerusalem a fortress. Herod's father, Antipater, got in good with Pompey. He was great friends with Pompey. And in the 60s BC, Pompey ousted everybody in Jerusalem that was not Jewish and gave Israel their land back. And this was the clay mixing with the iron and the feet. And so Herod was friends with Caesar. Caesar gave Herod, and subsequent emperors after that, they all dealt with each other. And the Jews brought great gain into Rome. They built Caesarea, they built palaces. They built, in all the lands of the Jews, they built monuments to Rome. They built palaces. They were some of the wealthiest people in Rome, if not the wealthiest. And the emperors gave them lands. The emperors even took land from Egypt and gave it to the Jewish people. And they had kingdoms and they ruled throughout many parts of Rome. Rome gave them garrisons to protect their cities, and Rome would come and fight with them to help them. And they did this because Israel, Jerusalem, the temple itself, had been established as a trade route that helped Rome. Israel got all the slaves, all the people that sold them into slavery and had them in slavery, the Greeks, the Egyptians. Israel now was having slaves of them. And they had trade routes coming in from China where they still thought silk was magic. And by the sea, by Syria, by Egypt, the trade routes would come up. They sold slaves to and from Rome. They had money changers in the temple. And Jerusalem and Israel were wealthier than you can imagine. And their architectural feats and even things that they did in the sea to build walls so far down and actually fortify seas, like up against the seashore. There's just no way to explain unless you had been there, but history paints a pretty good picture. And so, in time for Christ, the street was made straight, the wall was built again in perilous times, and the temple was built unto the Messiah the Prince. They mixed themselves with Rome, and it was time for Jesus. Stay tuned.